In 1968, there were 68 turtles in Nowheresville, Arkansas. Researchers determined the annual growth rate is 1.124. What is the growth model? Okay, now you'll notice that this is given as a value, not as a percent. So if they tell you, 12% growth rate, well, 12%, that's how much the annual growth is, so you would add that to 1. This is just given as 1.124. So this is like saying there's a 12.4% growth annually because 1 plus r. And if we have 1 plus 0.124, this is the rate, that's where the 12.4%. I just want to kind of talk about where everything comes from. All right, so when I'm talking about my growth model, this is all just talk, growth model. All right, so we know amount is the initial amount times 1 plus the rate raised to the time. And so we know that in 1968, our initial amount was 68 turtles. They tell us our growth model inside here, our growth rate inside, 1.124, and we have time. So here in red is my growth model. Okay, we're going to use that growth model to predict how many turtles there will be in 1981. So again, my formula, because it's always good to have the formula, this is what we're using. But what do I type in for the years? Well, recall we started in 1968. So in 1968, oh my gosh, what is all of that business? In 1968, we know that t is 0. That's our initial time. So in 1981, how many years have passed between 68 and 81? And we know that the time is 13. So A equals 68, 1.124 raised to the 13th power. So depending on your calculator, you might have to type in this exponent first, 1.124 raised to the 13th power, and then we'd multiply by 68. Some calculators will allow you to type that all in at the same time, but when you are done, you will get 310.79. Now, you got to round to the nearest turtle, right? You can't have 0.79 of a turtle. That doesn't work. So nearest turtle, we're looking at whole number, 7 rounds up, so we're talking 311 turtles.